Stricka straight up. Hello, everybody. We are back for Game 5 of this 8-game slate. A lot of tournament championships being decided today at the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus. I'm Billy Adams alongside my co-host, analyst, the voice of reason, the cameraman, betting aficionado, if you want to call him that, Full Sail future graduate here in just a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And the man from Orlando who drove 2 hours to be here, and Mr. Michael Zanetti,
yes, sir,
alongside our producer, Jonathan Torres. A lot of great action today. Very lopsided affairs, we must say. Haven't been a lot of close games, but the talent level and also the competition, Mike, I think has been there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you can see the talent from both teams, and that's kind of what we're looking at for these games. But, you know, obviously the goal at the end, you want to win. You want to be competitive in these games, and that's the biggest thing.
So outside on the starting lineup from a skill center squad we have not seen, it's Curtis Durr, number 10, number 12, Josiah Reed, number 13, Makai Cones, number 21, Landon Kane, and number 24, Graham Baker. Again, these are tournament championships that these teams are playing for a state title berth that will happen on May 10th and 11th. And on the other end, this is a team that we actually got to see earlier. As you saw there, number 10 in Mika Zachauer able to land that jumper specifically, and Mike was a big fan of this. We had the two towers that were in the middle of the paint in Mr. Jacob James and A.J. Griffin. So, you know, Mike, height does matter. But
Billy liked to argue that height didn't matter that game.
They were playing a Raptors team that was playing hard regardless of height, all right?
And now look where they're going, right back in the paint.
Oh, my goodness, how about it? Meeting them up. It's the real-life Christmas tree of Jacob James trying to put the star on top, and instead it's a gift of a rebound and a possession change going to the skill center.
Can you just admit that height matters? Did you not just watch that possession? Look at that, man.
You sound like all the women out there that say to a guy that height matters, okay? Now, let's not get into that trait. but nonetheless, height does matter in basketball, but you got to have skill to use that height. However, a lot of credit to this team because we got to see this Liberty Edge team earlier. Owen Boyle, great on the offensive side. Apparently there's cheers erupting somewhere in the court. Something happened somewhere.
Oh, somebody tied it up.
Owen Boyle, you see, on the top of the screen. He was able to work well with Adrian Pozo, who you saw earlier.
He didn't start last game.
He did not. He did not. Came off the bench. Pozo, though, had 3 threes in his last contest that we saw. He's got one already. Here's Boyle going up, crossing court against 2 defenders. And Pozo, despite not making it, he's going to get a chance to add to what is already 3 points. And, Mike, this has a chance 2 minutes in to be an 8-point lead.
Yeah.
So Pozo's going to be at the line. He just made a 3 moments ago. And again, this was a team earlier that we saw, you know, as we mentioned, they made 2 free throws in a game, but they did a lot better in their game earlier. They made 8 free throws of what was 12 attempts. So a lot better of a day 2. And a 1-for-2 effort there. 7-0 is the lead. 14 minutes remaining. And now Skill Center looking to get on the board, and they will do so with Makai Cones.
That's a nice finish over a very big defender.
Very big defender indeed. Again, you're going to hear that a lot because there's 2 bigs in Griffin and James. Here's a long 3 from Zachauer once again, tipping away. Zachauer somehow gets his own miss, can't put it away. Griffin had some contact. Boyle's got the ball. Zachauer once again wants it and got it. That was nothing but air and net in the basket.
That's a lot of offensive rebounds, Billy. Size is mattering.
Size is mattering a lot. Credit to A.J. Griffin for keeping that possession alive. Griffin on the defensive end, and James watches that one fall over his head.
So what was that, a 10-0 or 8-0 run at the start of the game? That's something.
It was an 8-0 run to start. Liberty Edge with the edge. No surprise. Here's Pozo. He's got 4. That one falling out of play. Boyle trying to keep it alive, and it goes right back to Skill Center. So again, it's Boyle, Pozo, Zachauer, Jacob James, and A.J. Griffin. Very similar start, but we did not see Boyle start in game number 1.
Good block.
There's a block. James, back the other way we go with Boyle. Left-handed finish is up and in. Might have had some contact, but no foul.
I thought the same.
Looked like a lot of contact in the paint. It's an 8-point advantage. And you know what? One whistle doesn't blow, the other one will. And it's back to Liberty. 12:32 remains as the clock stops here for that traveling violation. And Boyle's going to take it up the floor with Pozo. We see some vocal activity coming from the Skill Center bench already. Up top, it's Boyle working. Going to be guarded there by Cones. Closing in, getting in, and James has the basket. That was pretty easy.
This looks like it could get out of hand badly unless Skill Center can find a way to get on the board. Only 4 points now through 4 minutes of play.
You see Cones working. Garrison Smith recently checking in up top as well. There's a three coming from Graham Baker, and Baker gets him on the board. They call it a long two. They're going to slow it down just a little bit here for the edge. Up top, Baker guarding Pozo. Going around, working, kicking it out. Zach Gower, he'll hesitate, work inside. Boyle up top. Zach Gower lost the handle. That's a good steal for Skill Center.
And this is the comeback you want to see.
Josiah Reed up top. He's guarded by Pozo. He's got some help here. Up top, the shot is just off the mark for the recently checked in Smith. 11 minutes and some change remaining, an 8-point advantage. It's been sitting right around that margin. Here's Zach Gower. Slicing against three defenders, could not finish. James unable to get it. There's Boyle. Out of nowhere is Boyle. Pozo. Oh, a nice wraparound from Pozo, and a nice block there by Cones.
Skill Center definitely picked up on their defense. They've learned how to not let the offensive rebounds come back to haunt them, so they've been playing a lot more physical, and it's hard to stop that right there.
It's hard to stop that. That's just a given bucket when James is standing right under the basket.
They have had a couple blocks, though, so they've adjusted.
And by the way, I had a wonderful mom come up to me who gave us the roster, and we had a little interaction as that's a three coming from Grant Baker. She wanted me to know that Mr. Jacob James just turned 15. These kids are young. Just turned 15 and he's that size already. That is insanity. He's at least 6'4", 6'5" by the looks of it. Here's a long three from Zach Gower.
Good pass.
James trying to corral it in. And it was a great pass nonetheless. And a 7-point deficit now with Skill Center having a chance to cut in.
I don't think he intended to pass that. Unfortunately, I'm not able to save it. But from what was it, an 8-10-0 run to start the game, now closing in.
It's becoming a game. Skill Center coming alive just a little bit. Cones off the side iron. It's back to Pozo.
Tough shot there.
We saw Liberty Edge do this a lot. They were able to push the tempo pretty much whenever they wanted to on that Raptors team. Here we go.
Pass.
A little pick, a little pop. James over three defenders, kicks it out. That's a good pass. And, oh, just a tough shot for Zach Gower.
That's a little bit of a rare miss for Zach Gower.
Especially with that much space.
He normally hits those. That's how it's a little surprising.
It's all right. It happens. Times get tired. Players are getting fatigued.
Very true.
The ball's getting slippery. And another block there. That's the second block by James. Boy, you can hear the ghost of Mike Breen somewhere with the block by James, the infamous block by James from the 2016 finals. There's Griffin. He did this a lot in game one. Off the mark. That's his first shot attempt of the game.
And he usually knocks those down as well, so just got to find the right shot.
He knocked 4 of them down in game one, including 3 in the first half. So expect A.J. Griffin to get going. 9 minutes remaining in half number 1 as that shot's off the mark from Smith. Boyle to Zach Gower, working up, Griffin slicing it, and sure enough, A.J. Griffin hears the call and says, I'm answering.
Hey, Billy, what do you think about one of these?
A little time Maruski? I don't know. We got to see what Skill Center does here. Garrison Smith up top now, guarded by Pozo.
9-point game. Tough to get a lot of offense going. Got to score.
A little screen, a little movement action, nice hesitation. Mid-ranger off the mark, offensive board, and swatted away by James for the third time.
3 seconds. Either he stepped on the line or 3 seconds, one of the two.
I think he might have stepped on the line.
I saw him go like this. I don't know.
Interesting. Third block by James. And by the way, that was Landon Kane, who started this game as well, checking back in with the offensive board. Approaching the 8-minute remaining mark. It has been a back and forth affair. What has been controlled by the edge, the skill center, they're not going away. Here's Pozo. He's trying to stamp, and he does. This could be a time where they must need a timeout.
I recommend it after the last possession.
21-9 from our timeout aficionado, Mike Zanetti. Here's the skill center. Here's an open look coming, and that open look is dicing away from Justin Reed.
Now that's the answer you needed.
A much-needed answer from Reed, and an excellent shot. 7 and some change remain. Here's Pozo, guarded by Smith. We also see Jake Lundquist, who was a defensive fiend in game number 1. He's back in. Griffin had his first basket moments ago, wants his second. Some nice defensive pressure coming from Kane. And there's Lundquist again. Griffin goes up, lays it up and in. Boy, there was a duo there that was unspoken. It was Lundquist and Griffin in game number 1 working. They are continuing that trend here in game number 2.
There's a trap. We saw a little bit of it last game.
There's another shot and another make coming from Josiah Reed. He's got 5.
And that's where the timeout doesn't come into play, because they trust their offense enough that they are actually getting into a rhythm. So you don't want to slow that rhythm down.
Don't want to slow the rhythm down, and right now the skill center within 9. Here comes Pozo working outside his Boyle, and they're going to call a foul on the floor, and that should be, yes, it will be, on Graham Baker. 6 and some change remaining. And it looks like we'll get Braylon Civil coming in, and sitting down is going to be Makai Cones.
Another short bench there, 3.
Very interesting choice of a throw in here, one of the little guys, and Lundquist.
It worked.
It works. Him and Griffin in tandem. Griffin just unable to, but that was great defense by Graham Baker. Here's Garrison Smith going up. Nearly finishing. James with the board. Smith is fighting, and Boyle winning. Griffin back to Lundquist. And a kick ball. It's going to stay in Liberty's possession.
So a pretty quick first half, but we've seen some fire from both teams. Skill Center gotten a little slower start than others, and I was surprised that they didn't call a timeout when they went down by double digits, but able to fight back. It's a 9-point game. You get one stop on defense, maybe a timeout, reset, and go score again.
So Lundquist with the throw-in, and it'll be Pozo and Boyle working up top. Here's Pozo going up. Over 3 defenders, nearly getting it in. The recently checked in Wilmot tried to get it in. He'll finally corral it in, and Wilmot puts his team up by 11. So it'll be Graham Baker bringing it up the floor along with Garrison Smith and Josiah Reed. A little bit of pressure here from Lundquist in the paint with Kane. Up top, it's Graham Baker, guarded by Boyle. Lundquist, Smith, that's about an even matchup as you can get. See some late closeouts coming here from the Liberty Edge squad. That shot off the mark, rebound by Wilmot. It'll be Pozo bringing it up. Pozo up top. Applied pressure coming, some nice closeouts from the skill center, but it results in a foul, and it should be on Garrison Smith. Only 3 fouls team-wise so far on the skill center, none yet on the Liberty Edge. It'll be Lundquist throwing it in with Pozo. There's an open shot from Boyle. That's a nice shot, just too strong.
I know Boyle can shoot, but that might have been a little too deep, even though he's got the range for it.
He's got the range for it, he does. Just, you know, searching for some confidence even with your lead. You have the you have the comfortable position to do that. Garrison Smith wants a deep 3, and he's got it. Garrison Smith with a nice jumper.
And that'll cut the lead. 8 points, that's pretty big.
That is big indeed. There's James up top, working with Wilmot. And Wilmot unable to corral it. Unfortunate circumstance. 4.5 minutes remain. This is an answer that the skill center needs. They got a basket. They got to stop. Can they get another one? Good defense coming, but even better passing coming, and another block by Mr. Jake James. 4 blocks for the big man. I want to see a double-double with blocks at this point. There's an open shot from Smith, and he does it again. Garrison Smith cuts the lead to 5.
Now I'd be thinking of a timeout for Liberty Edge. It's a 5-point game.
This is what they needed. They needed somebody to come to life. Lundquist nearly got a 3. There's James. Almost puts it in. I think James thought it was going in.
It's a big possession for Skill Center.
There's Curtis Durr. Up top, Smith, does he do it again? Oh, he wanted it.
I wanted him to do it.
He wanted it. I thought we were going to get 3 in a row from Garrison Smith. So 3 and some change remain. Here's Pozo. Lead has been as high as double figures. It's down to 5. Some nice stops coming on the side of the Skill Center. Here's Liberty Edge working James on the inside with Pozo on the outside. Mid-range jumper is going to result in a foul, and the Skill Center will go to the line. That foul is going to come on the count of Curtis Durr.
I heard 0.
And see, I heard 0, but 10 was on him.
Correct.
Yeah,
he changed his mind.
That's what I figured. But nonetheless, that foul will go on the hands of Curtis Durr. It'll be the 4th team foul, and at the line is going to be Pozo. So Pozo makes it. It's a 27-20 advantage. But still, Mike, this game's within reach. We've seen them close.
Those are much-needed free throws, and honestly, it bails out Liberty. So Skill Center got to score here.
Here we go. Skill Center has been hot on the hot hand of shooting. Off the mark. An offensive rebound maybe, and successfully getting it in. They do. That's Braylon Civil. A 3. Garrison Smith has made 3 of his last 4.
I'm still waiting for one team to call a timeout. Neither team has called a timeout in this first half.
23-27, and that's thanks to Garrison Smith. Wilmot with the jumper. So the right-handed shot is successful. It's still a 6-point game.
I guess you trust both of your teams out there. Skill Center was down by a lot of points.
I trust Garrison Smith. Garrison Smith. He's 4 of his last 5 from 3. He's coming to life.
This is a 3-point game. If we don't be careful, we can have ourselves a game.
It's Garrison Smith versus everyone, folks. To the parents, friends, and family of Garrison Smith, you got to get excited for this. You love to see it. Pozo with the 3. Unable to get it. Wilmot, right place, right time. I think they wanted a top, and I do agree. And that 3's on the mark, and that comes at the hands of Lundquist.
That's a big answer from Lundquist.
What does Garrison Smith do? Will he continue?
Pull up again. What? Oh, now they're trying to.
They're trying to trap.
They definitely know.
They do. Lundquist takes it away. Right place, right time. It's Pozo to Boyle. Gets it back. Lundquist for 3. Gets it. James got it, and he put it back. It's Jacob James.
Wow.
There's the height when it matters. Jacob James has been quiet.
Just like that, it's 8 points again.
And Smith tried to charge, and instead it's a blocking foul, and it should come at the hands of Pozo.
I mean, what a sequence of events. It was a 3-point game. It was very close, and now all of a sudden, Skill Center went back up by 8.
And that was the first team foul by Liberty Edge in today's contest.
So to be down by that much and have just one player doing it all for them, it's going to be tough.
Garrison Smith has 12 of the 26, and he scored the last 12 points, in fact, for the Skill Center.
They're starting to pick up on the shooter out there.
And they definitely have. They're trying to close out the outlets, but there is some open space you see in the middle. It's just off the mark from Josiah Reed, gets his own miss.
He's going to pull it.
It'll be Garrison Smith. He wants to pull it, you can tell. Reed with a little fake pass. He'll drive in to the lane and snatched away by Pozo. Boyle on the other end goes up, and left-handed lay-in is good for Pozo. It's a 10-point lead once more. Smith with pressure. Combs kicks it out. Reed from the corner. He'll take a jumper, and he's got it. It's Josiah Reed.
Wow.
How about this, Mike? So,
need-
folks, we had a jumper made and a foul on the floor
Yep.
after the shot.
You don't
It's
see
going to
that.
stay with the skill center. That is a huge play.
You do not see that every day.
Up top, it's going to be Durr. There's Garrison Smith. He's got 12. Can't get 14. Under 30 seconds remain here in half number 1. What will the Edge do? Lundquist with a closeout. Meeting his maker. Garrison Smith and Pozo fighting for it. And a lot of contact on the floor right in front. And that foul will go against Durr. 5th team foul, his second, 28-36 remains, and the possession will be with the Edge. It'll be Lundquist up top. He'll be guarded by Kane. They're going to take their time here, Mike. More than likely going to be the last possession.
And rightfully so.
Here's Pozo up top. Lundquist with a deep tray. Answering the call. Lundquist, he's been so strong on the defensive presence, you almost forget he can shoot. And it was back and forth. It was up to 12, down to 5, but the Liberty Edge have an 11-point advantage going into halftime.
I mean, what a turn of events. You have Skill Center down by almost, what was it, double digits? It was
Double
a 10-0
figures.
run by Liberty Edge to start the game. So a beautiful turn of events. It was a great competitive first half. And then all of a sudden, here comes Liberty Edge pulling away. And wow, what a shot just to end the half on a high note. That'll bring so much momentum into the second half.
I gave Jace Lundquist a lot of credit in that first game because his defense, despite being one of the smaller frames on the court today, it's just been phenomenal. And the shooting has been well. He's got 2 threes in this game. He had 8 points in game 1. And shout out to Lundquist. Want to give a big shout out too to Garrison Smith once again. He has single-handedly kept his team within striking distance. He made 4 out of 5 of the last threes that this team shot. So a big shout out and a big credit to Garrison Smith. But, folks, we've got a long way to go. This game is not out of reach by any stretch of the imagination. And in 3 minutes' time, we need 16 minutes to decide a winner. Again, Billy Adams alongside Mike Zanetti and Jonathan Torres. We're right here on the Florida Athletics Network. Stick around, folks. We got more right after this. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 39-28 is the score. It has been a back-and-forth affair for the most part. Liberty Edge has just found some room to breathe when it comes to scoring a couple of baskets and getting a couple of stops. But nonetheless, it is still anybody's ball game in this 15-and-a-half-minute remaining half. And hey, by the way, if you're watching in the comments, what's your favorite Adam Sandler movie? You know, everybody's been commenting on the jersey I've been wearing today. It's a Waterboy jersey, obviously from the Adam Sandler movie, The Waterboy. But you know what? Shout out to Bobby Boucher. Shout out to Bobby Boucher and the people in New Orleans, too. We love the people in New Orleans. But, you know, if you have a favorite movie, mine's The First Grown-Ups. I love The First Grown-Ups. Either that or Rain on Me. A lot of people don't know Rain on Me. That's a good one with Don Cheadle. Either way, 41-28 is the score after a most recent basket from Liberty Edge. They have, again, commanded this game for the most part, but we saw an uprising from Garrison Smith in that first half, scoring the last 12 of 14 as Pozo got fouled, and he should be going to the line. That'll be the third foul on Durr. 4 fouls on Durr. I thought he had 3. I did.
He said 3.
I had 3. We're trying to figure out the foul count. I had 3. Yeah, I had 3. And sorry, we were trying to figure out that. We're just trying to figure out the foul count. He has 3. 3 fouls on Curtis Durr.
At least Billy, normally he's right.
I don't know, because I was like, maybe I'm off. You know, you never know. But I mean, nonetheless, that's a foul.
We always
regardless.
trust Billy.
I try. I just keep track just in case, you know? You never know. But nonetheless, that was the third foul. 30-43 is the score. 13 points is the advantage. Again, we have to mention, now that the score is 15, 20 points is the realm of possibility now, and 20 points means a running clock and the game could end.
I'm so surprised one of these hasn't been used.
Still surprised. Exactly.
Like signaling timeout behind the camera.
You kind of wonder if these two teams just like playing it out. Maybe that's their style. That's what I noticed with Liberty Edge in Game 1. They just like to play it out.
Just feel like you utilize the things you got.
You got to. That's our timeout guru and aficionado, Mike Zametti, everybody. Aficionado. There's A.J. Griffin up top working, and Pozo cannot get that one on the mark. Josiah Reed, who had a couple baskets in the first half, will run away after getting fouled. It's going to be on Owen Boyle.
Originally, I look away in disgust at that foul, but after retrospect, it is a fast break, so it's actually pretty smart to just tap him on the leg there. And you know what? Let's reset the defense and not have to go on a fast break and force them to reset. So I like that, actually, now that I think about it.
and this is what we saw was successful with Skill Center. They made a couple of stops from ill-advised moves by Liberty Edge, and then they were able to get a couple baskets. That was a good look. So nonetheless, that's what we got to keep seeing in this 15-point deficit, and there you go.
Yeah.
There's the timeout.
I was waiting for it.
45-30. Maybe they're going to discuss their favorite Adam Sandler film over there. I should go ask.
It's just funny to me because it's like it's the team that you don't expect to call a timeout. The team that's up by 15 says, you know what, why not? Let's call a timeout.
Well, from what we've seen with some of these teams who are winning, I think what's very impressive is the nature and how they're winning. It's not from the sheer fact that they're better. It's the sheer fact that they're disciplined. I mean, This team is a disciplined team, and the goal isn't to just win. The goal is to, how are we going to maintain that lead? We're virtually aware that this Skill Center team can come back, and they are aware. And I think that's the idea, is take the time out, take a break, and be like, all right, evaluate what's going well for them, and what do we still need to stop?
I think maybe it's a timeout to say, hey, let's get 5 more points. Let's wrap this game up. Let's rest into the next one. Could be.
Could definitely be that case. 13-33 remains in this game. It is a 15-point deficit. This is the largest lead we have seen today from Liberty Edge, but still plenty of time for another comeback. We saw a comeback mounted in the first half by Garrison Smith. It can certainly happen again for the Skill Center. It'll be Owen Boyle coming up, taking it up, and he'll be guarded by Reed. Up top, driving, Zachauer, going, dishing it out. A.J. Griffin with the shot. We saw Griffin do that a lot. He still has yet to get a three-pointer. Nice putback there, though, for James. That's a 17-point advantage. Reed up top. He'll work with Baker, guarded by Boyle. They're working inside with Kane. How about a long three from Baker? Boyle taking it back. Pozo wasting no time. He's got some space. Oh, and he missed the easy lay-in. Pozo. That's a rare opportunity missed. And they're going to call a blocking foul.
James has got to learn how to set his feet there. I mean,
I'm a bit surprised by that one still. He wasn't fully set, but I thought he was set enough to sell it.
That's what I was going to say. Coach said move out of his way.
Move out of his
but he
way.
was trying to run out of the way.
Yeah,
and that's why it's a blocking foul.
Of course.
I was surprised that he got knocked over because he's the taller guy.
He's the taller guy, but hey.
If he stands tall and maybe takes that hit harder and stands still, that could be a charge. Or he just gets out of the way like Coach says.
And by the way, guess who's checking in? We got Garrison Smith coming back in, the spark plug of half number one.
Yeah.
Graham Baker at the line right now. He made that first attempt after a Jacob James foul. And he will be off the mark on the second attempt. Boyle with the rebound, under 13 minutes remain. There's Griffin. All alone in the paint is A.J. Griffin. He's got 6 points. 18 points is the deficit, folks. Remember, 20 might be the number we're looking at. There's Garrison Smith. I thought he was about to do it again. Fighting for it. Cones and Landon Kane. There's Baker. Up once again. Boyle another rebound. That's his 6th rebound of the game.
Layup, and that'll be it.
A layup means a running clock. There's the guy to do it. James, too strong, gets his own miss, and puts it back. He has had 14 points and 16 rebounds in this game.
Double machine. I mean,
double machine.
You mentioned he just turned 15, and he is probably 6'4". That's crazy.
6'4", 6'5", 14 points. 16 rebounds and a partridge in a pear tree for Jacob James. Back the other way we go with the Liberty Edge. Going up and in is Pozo. Under 12 minutes remain. They are running it up.
And Skill Center yet to use a timeout, so that is what I'm a little bit worried by here as their offense is starting to stall.
That's a nice pass on the inside. Kane goes up, goes in.
It's a reverse announcer's jinx.
It's a reverse announcer's jinx. As that's going to be on Jacob James. That'll be his second. Ironically, both fouls in this half have been on Jacob James, by the way, folks. But you know what? 14, 16, and 4 blocks to his credit. That's pretty impressive. And that free throw on the mark, that's a huge three-point play. So 51-33 is the score. We did have a score update. Clock will still run, though. It has to get down to 15 before we stop it again. It'll be Boyle up top working with Smith. Boyle wanted it and sending it out into the stands is Makai Cones. There's a little bit of emotion in that play.
I felt that from the bench here, Billy.
Oh my goodness, the fans getting a taste of the ball too, I guess.
When a block is so ferocious like that, you feel it.
And there's James, he tried to put it up, gets his own miss. He's looking for it. He's got an open Zach Gower, and Zach Gower trying to get it up, puts it up, and finally puts it in.
Just pouring it on here. 20 points is your
Zach Gower's got deficit. 6 points.
Yeah.
53-33, it remains 20, and remember, 20 points means the game will end at 2 minutes if the lead remains. Off the mark, another rebound, 17, now 18 after the most recent 2.
Uh-oh.
A quick steal, here comes Garrison Smith. He was hot in the first half, goes up, goes in, and Smith has 16 points. There's a much-needed timeout with 10-11 remaining in an 18-point contest.
Well, you got to stop the clock somehow, and that will do it for you.
So the clock will continue to run, folks. 18 points is the advantage at this point. Again, time is 1:37 Eastern time. We still have 3 games after this, but we are over halfway in this tournament day and well over halfway into the tournament itself. We had 10 games yesterday. We have 8 games today. These are mostly and majority tournament champion deciders and a chance to get into a state qualifier that will happen on May 10th and 11th. We should be back for that one. That's the plan. As long as Jonathan Torres doesn't fire me, that's the plan.
Hopefully I'll be here too.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Just got to see what your favorite Adam Sandler movie is. Everybody's got to say what their favorite Adam Sandler movie is at some point.
We will say, sure, Waterboy.
Sure, Waterboy. Wow.
Just because he's wearing the Boucher jersey.
Hey, shout out Bobby Boucher. That's all you could ask for. Just a little water. Just a little water. Liberty Edge, though, seems hydrated enough with the way they're performing. Still an 18-point advantage. They're looking to make it 20 once again. Checking back in, by the way, too, is Jace Lundquist. Boyle going to be working up top. Josiah Reed calling for some help. Zach Howard.
I mean, they got to go fast because the clock is still running. They're just taking their time at this point.
They are. There's Pozo. Stamp of approval, 3.
Coach is vigorously trying to get his team sparked because he knows he's got to get back to 15 points in order for that clock to stop after every whistle.
21 points. The clock continues to run, and we are on pace to have 7.5 minutes of gameplay and not 9.5 as of now. So another foul coming on the floor, the third team foul in this half. 9 and some change remain for this game. It'll be Civil throwing it in, working with Garrison Smith. Up top guarding is Lundquist. Lundquist has some help from Pozo. You see Lundquist, he's just a menace out there. Here's Pozo working on the inside. James meeting Baker. He's got the ball. Justin Reed back up top. Baker with the shot. He's been trying and finally hits one from the corner.
That's a nice shot right there to answer. Somebody fix that net.
He's been trying to hit the corner for about 4 or 5 times now and finally does. There's Pozo. He wants another one. Too short. Offensive board almost for Sawalski, but it's back the other way. Here's Baker again. Reed on the drive, kicks it out. Here's Civil up top. 8 and some change remain. The clock continues to run. Long 3 from Garrison Smith, nearly got it in. That's an offensive board and defensive board there for Pozo. Plenty of looks, Mike, but no execution.
It was a good shot, just a little short. He's probably a little tired on us.
A little short, depth fatigue could be setting in for these kids. Here's a shot from Pozo. It's off the mark. Sawalski fighting for it once again. Can't grab it in. Here comes Civil. Baker nearly got it in. Under 8 minutes remaining. And they're slowing it down. You see the intensity on defense picking up, but offensively, it's the Liberty Edge slowing down. Sawalski. And they're going to go back up top here and just run some clock. You see the switches coming, though. Really good switches here from Skill Center. Open 3. And that is off the mark for Sawalski. Here comes Reed. Going up. Can't get it. I think they thought there was a foul with the whistle. No foul. We play on, and there's a foul.
Still 18 points, so clock will run. The hit of 3, it would stop. So
and that foul's going to be on Garrison Smith. That'll be his second. So Pozo going to throw it into Boyle. 18 points remains the deficit under 7 minutes remaining. This game is just flying by for everybody. Lundquist watches it being swatted away. Garrison Smith has got it. He's got 16 points. Here comes Smith, takes it up, and takes it in for 18.
That's a good look.
That's a great look by Garrison Smith. There's the spark plug needed.
It's a very difficult shot, too, and now you got a full court press.
Here comes Lundquist, took some contact. Gets it to James, and James, that's about the easiest slam you could see. He's got 16 points.
I'll tell you, Billy, he barely got off the ground, and he just slammed it home.
16 points and 18 rebounds for the man who recently had a birthday in Jacob James. 18 points back to the advantage. Civil outside, guarded and blocked by James for number 5 on the day.
He might have a triple-double with blocks.
16, 18, and 5 right now. Could we see a 20 and 20 in high school?
That'd
be fun. 20 and 20's happened a couple times in the NBA and very rarely in college, but you know what? It could happen today.
Why not?
16 and 18, and he might have just gotten called for the foul.
Just a little bit of contact. He swiped, going for the block, and then missed the ball. Just barely hit him. So.
He will be called. That will be his third.
And the clock will run, so it's going to be tough here.
Clock continues to run in this 18-point advantage. Remember, it has to get back down to 15. 5 and some change remain. Back to the line is Landon Kane. As the first attempt is on the way and just short off the front of the rim. The game should continue to play on, though. If it is 20, it'll end at 2 minutes. If not, we will continue to play throughout 0. Second attempt coming on the way, under 5 minutes remain. And there it is. So Landon Kane cuts it to 17 here. Long pass on the way. There's James. There he is. He's got 18. 18, 18, and 5 for Jacob James. Working outside, 4.5 minutes remain for Skill Center. 19-point deficit. Here's Garrison Smith. Up top, he wanted the shot. He's got Kane, met by Lundquist. Kane puts it up, and Kane's got the mid-ranger. Landon Kane with the drain. Here's Boyle, working with Pozo. Here we got a full court press coming, Mike. They're wasting no time. James again.
Traveled.
And traveled. Thought he got fouled, but no, he walked just a little bit.
It was when that tip happened, so he took that step as the ball was getting tipped, and then it didn't move. He's got that good hands. And unfortunately, rolling the ball won't do anything when you're down by that much.
Definitely not. There's another shot. There's a little run.
We'll cut it to 15, so the clock will stop after every whistle.
We got a little run. The clock can stop now. Here's Pozo. Puts it up. Lundquist can't get it back. James got the board and the finish. He's got 20 points and 19 rebounds.
All right,
Amazing
one more board.
performance.
20-20.
Oh, my goodness. Here's Kane. He's been hot. Outside. That's Gillespie. Can't get it. Boyle's got it back. 17-point lead. Boyle up top. Hasn't scored much, but he's done a lot of the facilitating. He's got a screen help. James outside. James trying. There's the 20 and 20 and make it 22 and 20 for Jacob James. Oh my goodness.
I think the height matters, Billy. You were trying to argue that the height doesn't do anything for the Liberty Edge. I think James has got height, and that has been a huge answer for this team.
You know what? And I have to say it, as he gets 21 rebounds, he's had 16 offensive rebounds in this game.
Well, what do you expect? He's the tallest guy on the floor, Bill.
And by the way, 12 of those have resulted in second chance points, whether for him or for his team.
Billy,
so yes,
he's
it
15.
matters.
He towers over his defenders.
He's 15 years old.
He towers over them. No wonder why he's got 22 rebounds.
He's looking down on me. He's looking down on everybody right now. That shot's off the mark. How about an offensive board coming from what seemed to be Lundquist? Remember, the next basket for Liberty will end it.
Yeah.
Depending on if they get it. This could be the ending. They need a basket. Does Pozo end it? He will. That is going to be it. 66-45. And I mean, what more is there to say in this game other than the man in Jacob James? 22 points and 21 rebounds to accumulate with 5 blocks on the day. I mean, Mike, that's one of the best performances we've seen all weekend.
Oh, I love it. I mean, this Liberty Edge team has just gone through their height. I mean, there's so many good players that have been inside. James, probably the player of the game in terms of crashing the boards, 20 points, 20 rebounds. But, I mean, he's unstoppable. So last game it was a couple other guys, but you have to have some guy step up, and it's so difficult to stop that. For Skill Center, they fought hard. They did what they had to do. They had a little press at the end, definitely a couple things they could take into the next game. But overall, I mean, both teams showed up, and they had to. And I think the better team just kind of proved themselves. But, I mean, both teams showed why they've made it this far in the tournament. And it's just so hard to stop James in the paint.
21 points was the advantage. 22 points came from Jacob James, 5 blocks and 20-plus rebounds on the day. So shout out to Jacob James for his performance, and especially for Liberty Edge for clinching a state title berth. Under 20 minutes until our next contest, folks. We are winding down the day. 3 more games to be had and plenty more basketball to be played. Mike Zanetti alongside myself, Billy Adams, here at the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus, produced by our very own Jonathan Torres. We're going to be back in 19 minutes, folks, right here on the Florida Athletics Network.
Depending on where this finds you, hello, good morning, fret not, tap in. But most important, believe in yourself, always stand for something, give it everything you got and make no assumptions. Shall we proceed to the top with it? Let it run. Shall we proceed to the top with it? Come on, Otis.